Hello Orchid friends, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at two of my Tolumnias. If this is your first time watching my video, my channel is all about orchids, from what orchids I have, how I grow them, my thoughts on certain orchid topics, to what orchids are blooming, etc. So if you want to follow along my orchid hobby adventure, please consider subscribing to my channel and turn on the notification. These two Tolumnia last flowered back in November, end of November last year and early December. Before I left for my Asia trip around mid-November, they were still in buds, and then as soon as I got home, they were in full bloom. So I actually took a really quick video to show you guys the flower, the blooms back then. Now, the one on the left is the Tolumnia Snow White. The one on the right is the red one. It's called the Red Sun. They all have very, very good root system and growth at the moment. And currently, I have a kind of a hybrid between semi-hydro and regular media growing method. And I will explain that in a little bit. As you can see, I actually put them in very small cup. I think this is like an 8-ounce cup, and I double cup it. And the reason why I do that is because at the cup that I'm holding here, it has drainage holes at the bottom. But depending on whether it's summertime or depending on what I feel like it, and depending on what I see about this orchid, you know, I may actually use the second cup, the outer cup here, use that as sort of the reservoir. So I would leave about 1/3 of the cup, the bottom third, you know, having water, and because it has a drainage hole, the water actually gets into the inner cup. So that's kind of a hybrid. So if I want to do semi-hydro, I could, but otherwise I let the water drain out completely, but then still put the cup back into the outer cup. And that way it's just regular, you know, inorganic media growing method. And that has done really well for me because, as you can see, the roots are actually pretty well established into the media, and there is no root rot or anything. And the fact that they bloomed, that means that, you know, they're not stressing, they're not stressed. I've always been told that Tolumnias like their roots to be dry out between watering, but I found that that's not really the case with my Tolumnias, and it could be because how I grow them and they got adjusted to high moisture, constant moisture. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe you have a similar experience, but let me know. But the reason why I'm showing you these two Tolumnia is because one of them is exhibiting very interesting thing that I haven't seen before, and it's the one Tolumnia Snow White. It's giving me a secondary spike from the old spike. Have you had this happen to you before? I've seen secondary spikes on Phalaenopsis, but Tolumnia, this is really the first time that this has ever happened to me. I wonder if any of you have similar experience with Tolumnia secondary spikes at all. Let me know in the comment down below. If I had cut the older flower spikes after they finished blooming, I would not have had this secondary spike growing out, right? And so that's just another good reason why we should never cut flower spikes, including Phalaenopsis, right? Any other orchid types, really. You shouldn't be cutting your flower spikes until they are completely dried, yellowed, and dead. Otherwise, you know what? There is still saps, nutrients, mobile nutrients that might be able to get recycled back into the plants itself. And here are just some photos I have taken over time to document the growth of the flower spikes. This particular one, only one flower spike. It's elongating and the buds are getting bigger and bigger as we speak. So pretty soon, probably in a month or so, we will be able to have some new Tolumnia flowers to enjoy. And before we finish the video, I thought we would also take a look at the second Tolumnia Red Sun, because it's also doing really well considering it's just finished its blooming and it's wintertime in my area, in my parts of the world. It's working on 2 new growth at the moment, and I see lots of roots growing both on top of the media but also inside the media, which is rather encouraging. I also grew this one in a hybrid method between semi-hydro as well as regular inorganic media, without water, without reservoir. You know, I let the water drain. And here is just to show you that I put some rocks at the bottom of the outmost cup, because I don't want these 2 plants to get top heavy and get knocked over sometimes. So I basically wanted to give it some extra weight. And here again, I double cup it, and these cups are, I think, 8-ounce cups. And this particular cup has drainage hole at the bottom, and here, you know, the roots are also growing into the media. For the most part, I really grow them semi-hydro. So at the bottom third of the cup, there's always water present. Only at really cold winter days where I know my growing environment is gonna get down to like 65 or 50 in my sunroom, right? Then I would let the water drain out so that they are less likely to quote-unquote catch a cold. But you know what? My Tolumnias, like I said earlier, they don't need to get completely dry between watering, and that just has been my experience with these 2, with the 4s that I have had. I have 4 Tolumnias currently. And I was able to quickly find the clip of these 2 Tolumnias last flowering. So here you go. This is what they look like, and hopefully we will be able to enjoy the white one in the near future. This is all I have for you today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to get more orchid related videos from my channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification. I want to wish you happy growing, and I will talk to you in my next video. Ciao!